Hi there. Tell everyone a little bit about you and where you are in your career journey right now.
So my name is Amy Bryant, and I am a part-time technical editor right now for a defense contractor, and so I'm doing part-time both. And my business is called The Right Place, and I describe myself kind of as a writing generalist. So I do legal technical writing, and then I also write websites, marketing content, pretty much anything that needs written either for the front end that's customer facing or the back end policies, procedures, stuff that everyone hates writing.
I know, right? I think people can relate to the writing part. We need you. So when you started your business, like what are some of the problems and challenges you were looking to solve?
I feel like writing is a lot like math. Either people feel comfortable with it and they're confident with it, or they're not. There's really no in between. And so um, I wanted to come alongside other businesses, and other passion driven people, and say, okay, why is it that you do what you do? And let's talk about that. And then your copy and whatever you need written writes itself. And so I wanted to be able to take that stress off and take that, it has to be perfect or I'm going to be the next viral grammatic error blog thing. And I just wanted to take that stress off.
Awesome. So you were trying to help others by starting this business and coming alongside them. So was there anything challenging about trying to find your first client? Like how was that?
So my first big client was actually the a really weird story. I had been cleaning out my house and literally just, if it's trash, it goes away or we keep it. There's no other options. And I found a breast pump that was fairly expensive from when I was nursing, and I posted on it. I was like, hey, I would like to give this to whoever needs it. Um, Let me know. And an old girlfriend popped up and she said, hey, mine just broke. Can I have it? I'm like, sure, I'll bring it over. She ended up burning dinner, so she was gone. And I sat down with her husband. Well, and we had that, well, what do you do? What do you do conversation? And he needed a marketing writer. And he's like, so you can do both the marketing and the technical writing? And I was like, yeah, I can write your flyers and I can run your website and I can do your proposals and I can do your back end stuff. And he's like, okay, well, can you come in on Monday?
Wow.
And it was that fast. And it was just being willing to be available and I think own it. Like, no, this is what I do. And that turned into multiple other opportunities that have spun off from that relationship. And it kind of took off from there.
Awesome. I love that story about a breast pump. I how that turned into your first client. You never know. You just never know. But you had to be willing because you mentioned you had a little bit of like imposter syndrome too, and you didn't have a big audience. And so those are some of the objections that were kind of holding you back. But
Right.
it sounds like you had to been confident to tell him what you did when he asked. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I think because I had done criminal justice for 8 years, and there is a crap ton of report writing involved there. But I had to be brave and take my skill set and take my passion and take my training and convert it into something that was marketable. So, and just own it. It's like, I've already been doing this for 10 years. It just didn't look the way I think it should.
Hmm.
Just because I'm not working for a newspaper or I'm not working for a publishing company or I'm not working for a magazine doesn't mean I haven't been writing for the past 10 years.
Exactly. So how did you come across Classy Career Girl and meet our brand?
So I've actually been following you. Oh gosh.
Oh gosh. Now I'm
I would
nervous.
say probably almost, no, that's probably almost 8 years.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Thank you.
because I found you when I was scrolling, trying to stay awake, working graves, and talking about how, and what really got me is there was an article way long ago. I'm not going to date either of us.
I've
But
been
you were
blogging a
talking
while.
about you were talking about how you can take your passion area, and for so long I felt like my passion area and my career path were two separate things. And I said, take your passion area and figure out how you make that a marketable skill. And what is it that you can sell in your skill set? And I'm like, I've been writing and public speaking since I was 12. So it took me a while to figure out where to plug that in. And so now I'm focusing on writing content. And then I'm also, my goal this month is to register on coachme.com as a book coach.
Awesome. I love that. So where are you in the success path, and what was kind of like some of the first steps that you took?
So I am finishing up phase 2, and really filling in a lot of holes, and just because there's things that you have to learn on the fly.
Yeah.
And you have to come up with as you're going. And so it's plugging in those holes and making sure you have policies in place, making sure that you have backup pitches, making sure that you have content that you can plug as soon as it's appropriate. And I think one of the things that has been the most helpful for me is you talk about your environment and making sure that your environment and your workspace is somewhere that you actually want to be. And so we redid my back porch into my office. This is my husband's office. It's his man land. He has the better camera.
Nice.
But my office has full south windows and all of my plants and all of my books, and it's my happy place. But I hadn't considered also my peer environment, and making sure that I am surrounding myself with people who understand that entrepreneurial mindset and understand that hunger, instead of, nicely putting you down and nicely saying, oh, you shouldn't work so hard. You already have a good job. Like, you already have it made. Why are you doing this to yourself? Because I'm not doing it to myself. I'm doing it for myself. And plugging that in and making sure that that aspect is there. So almost so you don't give up on yourself. Does that make sense?
Definitely. Yeah. So the community, being around the other people who are doing similar things has really helped you in the community.
Tremendously. Tremendously. And
And
that's
even
been
just watching people, is it just watching people's Facebook posts, or how is it that it's motivating you?
watching other people come up with answers to some of the same questions. I think is, as how do we balance this as moms? It's like, this is errand day. I thought about changing, and I'm like, no, this is where we're at today.
This is life.
How do we balance being moms with being professionals, with being business owners? All of us have our own areas of insecurity, and how do we push through those, and how do we lean into that discomfort? And I love watching how people jump in. I was really uncomfortable about I was uncomfortable about how to get dressed for my business pictures. And I posted about it, and I got legitimate feedback. It wasn't Um, it wasn't just pat on the head, you'll be okay. It was, hey, I get it. I understand that. Try this. And that has been so rewarding, and seeing other people jump in, and I've jumped in for other people. Um, so
I love
I
that.
think that's been one of the most encouraging things.
Yes. I love that you were willing to put yourself out there, right? Ask the question. And then you got feedback, but then also sometimes you don't realize that you have the same questions as other people too. So when you see them ask those questions, you're like, how is everyone going to respond? That's a good, that's a good question too.
It's like you get your popcorn out and like, okay, this is a good one.
Yeah. So Amy, where can people find out more about you? If someone needs a writer, where can we where can we find you?
So, my task this week was actually finishing writing my own website and doing everything for myself and my business that I do for everybody else. So, right now, people can get a hold of me either on Facebook. I'm under AJ Bryant, or you can shoot me an email. It's AJ Bryant, Bryant, author, all one word, at Gmail.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and inspiring everyone today. This was awesome.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome.